Okay, so which numbers do you need help with? Eight, 10, 14, and 385, 10, and 12. Okay, anything else from other people? This is from 384. Okay, this is from 384. Okay, so let's take a look at it. I'll go in an alphabetical, or I mean, number order. I'll do 8 first. Okay, I think once we start, we'll be able to get a hold of it. Okay, m equals, okay, I'm going to mute everyone. Thank you. Okay, so I have m equals a plus b over 2. The key point is to do inverse operation. Everything is going to be inverse operation, and it's going to be the same as working with numbers, equations, and things like that. The only difference is you can't solve them completely because they're using variables, but that's really the only difference. So I want to solve it for, in this case, a, because that's in red. So what I'm going to do is, first thing, what's the last thing that you're doing is dividing by 2. So I have to multiply both sides by 2, and that's my first step because I did a plus b divided by 2. So dividing was the last step, so I multiply for the first step, undoing. So these two cancels, and then I have 2m equals a plus b. I'm solving for a, so I need to get rid of b. Second step, I subtract b from both sides, so I can get rid of b's. So I have a equals 2m minus b, and that is it. Okay, or you can write it a equals 2m minus b. That's how you solve it. You multiply it. Yes, that's why you are multiplying. So you're always doing the inverse operation. You multiply or you divide it the last time, the very latest one, so you multiply 2 to cancel the operation, basically. Number 10 really is the same. I wish, you know what, I'm just going to erase it. A equals 2. 10 here. Equation for 10, C equals 3 plus 1.5H. So it says you have $12 to rent a pair of inline skates. They rent for $3 plus 1.5 per hour. To determine the maximum length of time you can rent the inline skates, solve the formula. Then substitute 12 for C. So first you have to solve it for H, and then after that you substitute C with 12 later on. So what do? I have H here, and I have to leave this part alone. So I need to get rid of this guy. So I subtract it. Okay, why do I subtract? Because 3 is a positive 3. I want to get rid of it. And then I also have to subtract it on the other side. C minus 3 equals 1.5H. After that, I am doing really 1.5 times H. So I have to divide it by 1.5 on both sides. So I can get rid of these. H is going to be c minus 3 divided by 1.5. Okay, now you can't stop here because they said substitute c with 12. So I'm going to do 12, which is c minus 3 divided by 1.5. 12 minus 3 is 9 divided by 1.5. How many times does it go in? I think it's 6 times. Yeah, 6 times. So 6 hours. Any questions so far? You can unmute yourself if you have other questions. No one? Okay. I think with these two, you can probably figure out number 14 as well. First, 14a is just finding the formula for h, and then b is plugging in the number is 1134 for the bricks, number of n bricks. Okay. Yes, so our goal is to get the variable by itself. It's really what you're doing the whole time. Instead of actually solving the numbers, you just leave it as something like this. Okay. Okay, Emily, do you still want to go over 14, or do you think you can work on 14? Okay. Okay, so I think you can work on it because these are like 14, although it's word question, you can work on it because it's just doing the same operation. And then let's see, you had other question. Okay, 10 and 12. 10 and 12, basically same thing. For 12, I will go over p is divided by 4. Okay, let's see. Let me use the chat. 4 on page, p is divided by 4. Yeah, p is divided by 4. Good. Okay. I'm going to go to 12. Something like this. It's actually what 7th grader is doing with interest, percent, or principal rate and time. What you do is just think of these as just multiplying. And you have to find out what t is. So how can you find that out? If you're all multiplying, you do the inverse operation, which is dividing by, this is on 385, number 12. It's on the checkpoint on the very bottom. Okay, and I think 10 you can figure it out. So this one, just make sure you divide both sides by whatever you don't need. You can do that at the same time and work on it. Just treat them as numbers. Just treat them as numbers. Okay, it clicked. Okay. Any other people? I will unmute all. Okay. Any other questions? If not, yes. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I posted a paper, like all three of them. You guys already did 7.6 actually as a review. But if you don't remember, it's a good way to refresh your memory. So what you can do is, no, you don't have to do all of the questions. Okay, just percent ratio, rate and time. Yeah. No, actually not percent, it's principal. So which one do you not understand? I want to leave t by itself. So what should I divide both sides by? PR. PR. That's it. Uh-huh. And then these cancel out. You don't divide. What operation should you do? Because you're doing G plus H, right? So you have a positive G. Yes. Answer is yes for Andrew. It was 2 parts, if you remember. I had homework from 2 parts. Okay. So, just to clarify in your homework, you don't really have a set homework, but I may ask you to work on some of these questions to practice because you're going to have a quiz and I will require you guys to show me work for these questions. So you'll have to do it on a piece of paper and take a picture and send it to me. Um, we'll see. I may put it on Google Forms. Yeah, yeah, it's not going to be enough. So it's probably going to be on Google Form or something similar to that.